Yeah, family. Peace and love. Peace and love. This is Brother Garfield. And Hebrew Israelites, you have a chance to come on and defend yourself, defend your doctrine. And I can't talk and sound neither because Black Jesus Minister want to block. All right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Whoever want to jump on the chat, let me call Rob on. Let him know I'm live. You.
Everybody forgets that the majority of African slaves in the Atlantic slave trade that came over here to the Americas, they went to Brazil. To this day, the African Brazilian population is probably 3 times larger or 10 times larger. I forgot the number is 3 to 7 times larger than Black people here in America. So the majority of transatlantic slaves that came.
Yeah, I'm live when you're ready.
If you're coming
Brazil, on. All right.
And not Northern America. That's facts.
All right. Hey, Mitch, what's up? What's up? What's up?
So that is why in Brazil, the African culture in Brazil is much stronger.
Yeah. All right. So where my boy Gideon at? That's who I want to jump on today. Where Gideon at? Come on, man. Come on, Gideon. Tamika. Wagwan. Tamika love the mix up, and she love the mix up. She said she love the mix up. I said she love the mix up. All right, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, man. Hey, let me say something to everybody, by the way, man. I want to say that nobody's information is the ultimate information. All right? Nobody's information. I learn every day. I learn every single day. And I want people to know that. Not because I might have read more about a subject than some people. That don't mean I'm better than some people. You know what I'm saying? And as you come in, family, Hebrew, just press the like button. You don't like Garfield, but at least pretend. Even if you don't like me, press the dislike button. Hebrew Israelites, step up, show and prove you're an Israelite. I want to do something right here real quick. So Sonetta just had a show, right? And I want to show you how dishonest people are. You mean I had an elder on, and the elder came on, Sheikh Baba, Sheikh Anti Babu. Hold on, let me set it. Let me get the elder's video. Let me get his video.
Muridia had become something that is portable, that can travel, a form of traveling religion, where wherever they go, Murid can translate that space, mention of the past. But once again, that's what you do when you are a historian. You kind of tell inconvenient stories, and that's what you're supposed to be doing, because we're looking for the truth, and the truth is complex, complicated.
History is not a very cool running river. It's a river that is capped by a lot of cataracts and other things that make it complex and complicated.
Yeah. So I'm reading your friend, the late great Lamine Osane's book about the clerical people of the Senegambia, history of an Islamic clerical people. And he talks about how a gentleman had a vision. This was like around the 12th century or 13th century. He had a vision that he was that he got a vision from, I think, Abraham, Jacob, or and from Prophet Muhammad, I think. And he got a vision that he should call himself the Banu Israel, and that's how the group was formed. Mm-hmm. It seems like a lot of people in Africa have either invented an identity or wants to claim that they are Jews. What are your views? Before the interview, right? I had a conversation with him. So he told me it's like they invented it. That's why I actually said invented, just for the record. But watch this though. He said, Dueling After Dark, peace and love to your family. How you doing? Peace and love to everybody in the chat, man. We all are Israelites. Wake up. Shout out to Israelite Nation under Yahweh. Shout out to you, beloved. Ben Lorenzo, Biblical DNA. Peace and love to you, family. Loving the channel, man. I know what it is. All right. Darren Taylor, Lamar Pope, Spin Barrel, Mikhail 16, drop link Garfield. I dropped the link already. All right. Mike Jackson, Jason Northcutt, Mike Jackson. Let me see who else. All right, Lou, my big bro Lou, man, be emailing me all the time. All right, peace and love to everyone. Teti, Uzar Mayat Ra Seneferu, Hotep, my big brother. Who else is in here? All right, Tasama Sprinkle. And by the way, too, we ain't gotta agree. We just a family, and we just trying to get to the truth of everything. Now listen to what Sheikh Babu says. And by the way, he's a practicing Muslim. He's a practicing Muslim. So people got to remember that too. You got to, you know what I'm saying? He's a practicing Muslim. All right. So he don't really must agree with what Garfield is saying anyway on this. Overall African people.
Well, I don't think that there are many people in Africa who do that. Certainly there are some Jewish communities across Africa. You know, I talk about the Lemba of Zimbabwe and South Africa, the Baluba of Congo, the Igbo and others, the Beta Israel. You do have those communities that, to some extent, put out this narrative of connection with Jews. I don't know to what extent it's a political project, or or is it just memory, or is it just a past they believe in? And you can say the same thing about Islam. For example, if you look at the history of Sundiata Keita, I'm sure you're familiar with the story of Sundiata Keita and the Mali kingdom. I was teaching actually the book today in my class, and it starts by saying that we descended from Bilali. And Bilali is Bilal, the Abyssinian, black Abyssinian, who was the companion of the Prophet Muhammad, who was the caller for prayer. Well, you have a whole story told by Griot that connect Sundiata in the 13th century with Bilali in the 7th century. I mean, as a historian, it's very convenient for a Malian king who is projecting his power over a Muslim population to find some connection with early Islam, and to draw authority and power and credibility from the very early source of Islam, arguing that nobody is more Muslim than I am because my ancestor was there, but at the very beginning. It makes sense politically speaking. You see what I'm saying? So maybe similar stories happening also about the Jews, but also, look, Jews have been around in Africa for a long time. Okay, you have the idea of the lost tribe, and then you have the bogus history of Ham and the Hamitic people of Africa. But you do understand that Hebrew language is an Afro-Asiatic language. It's an Afro-Asiatic language. Hebrew language is rooted in the same language as Amharic that is spoken in Ethiopia today, as Arabic.
Now, when he says it's an Afro-Asiatic language, based on the old language formats as far as how they're listed the Greenberg way, yes, it's an Afro-Asiatic language. But based on what he said, Amharic and those languages in modern-day Ethiopia, because those people are mixed with what? The people across in Yemen. Remember, those people and their genetic markers show that they're connected with the J marker in areas like modern day Ethiopia. So those people are considered, their language family is connected to the Semitic language family. That's what make it Afro-Asiatic family. And the only place that's part of Africa that's considered is right there in Ethiopia. So we got to be careful and listen to what the brother is saying. I don't disagree with nothing that he's saying. Nothing.
Which is the Semitic language. As Tamazic or Berber, which is the Semitic language. as Tuareg languages, Tamazic, but also as some languages, even Hausa language in northern Nigeria and in Sudan and in Niger, that are also African languages. So there is entanglement between the Semitic language and African languages. These are Afro-Asian languages. And some linguists actually argue that Hebrew was not born in Israel, but in Africa, and crossed the Red Sea to the Middle East. That the root of this language is really in Northeast Africa. So you have these long connections, and you do have also early Jew involved in the trans-Saharan trade. We have evidence of Jewish tribe actually being involved in that trade, and we have some practices actually in Africa that are very much related to Jewish practices. So you do have a long history there from which people can draw narrative for whatever purpose they have to legitimate whatever it is that they want to legitimate.
Right. Let me ask you this. Can you explain briefly the whole Senegal, Gambia, pre-colonial, and the new connection to... All right. So I don't need to, I'm done with him. So he basically misrepresented the info. He basically misrepresented it. And the link is pinned, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. What I wanted to tell everybody is this. I wanted to, for some reason, I don't know why when I go live, I can't I can't share my screen. I can't share my my presentation all the time. Only sometimes I can share it. Oh, here we go. All right. So here we go, family. Shout out to B-Dot in the building, by the way, man. Shout out. By the way, did he just say trans-Saharan slave trade, or am I hearing things? Am I hearing things, family? Or did he say trans-Saharan slave trade? I just want to make sure. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these images, different images of Israelites, right? And I want people to pay attention. Now, look at this right here. This is the first Assyrian trade that's going up for the northern tribes. Is this African Americans right here? Gideon, jump on, bro, because you my big bro too, man. We agree, we disagree, agree, disagree, don't matter. Jump on. Is this us? Because we're gonna, oh, don't show it yet? All right, cool. All right, let me not show this yet. Let me not show this yet. All right. I wanna, let's go 7 minutes for 7 minutes. All right, come on. If you want to go 7 minutes for 7 minutes, come on. But I did want to show what he showed and go into what the scholars say about these things and slide versus slides. All right, come on in, man. Come on in. I don't know about the 7 minutes though. That's kind of long today. But all right, come on in, man. I am hungry, but it's too late to eat. I'm hungry though. Yeah, let me show this Michael Smith for a second. Let me show this slide real quick right here. I could show this slide. This ain't got nothing to do with what he talking about. For real. All right. I want y'all to look at this slide right here, right? This is Brazil-Africa relations, historical dimensions, and contemporary engagement from the 1960s to the present. That's the president of Brazil right here. And if you look, he had granted lands for over 5,000 family. Let me just say it again. 5,000 different communities, man. Look at right here. It's right here. Under decree 4,887 of 2003, Maroon communities are ethnically racial groups according to the criteria of self-classification with their own historical trajectory, provided with specific territorial relations and with Afro-descendant ancestry, related to resistance against historical oppression. Almost 5,000. Wow. That's crazy. That's craziness. Here's another book, Worship as Body Language, Introduction to Christian Worship and African Orientation. Varieties of religious experience. African societies, like cultures everywhere, have always undergone inventive processes of change as a consequence of both internal and external growth, external forces such as conquest and migration, growth and decline. In the more distant past, the rise of pre-colonial expansion states had various effects on local cultures, either destroying, ignoring, or accommodating them. Over the past 4 centuries, depending on the region, Christianity and Islam have similarly variously coexisted and mutually influenced prior religious institutions and systems of thought. The study of traditional African religion also addresses the emergence of qualitatively new varieties of religious experience and institutions, such as the colonial era anti-witchcraft cults, prophetic revolutionary charismatic cults, independent churches, and the complex issues of syncretism and anti-syncretism. These are technically traditional in their own right, as all traditions are the complex ongoing results of invention and change. Moreover, though many older religious institutions and beliefs have been abandoned or have been greatly diminished, they have been in many cases revived in periods of stress. Nevertheless, formerly important regional institutions such as territorial cults have become largely attenuated, perhaps permanently so, due to their functions having been replaced by the modern state, the church, land alienation, and wage labor. The comparative study of African traditional religions as systems of thought reveals important differences as far as the various manifestations of this process. Much of it is expressed side by side with the dominant Abrahamic traditions, almost as if to undergird spiritually in worship. This process is called Dionytalism. On the other hand, African religion that has been absorbed is a process referred to as syncretism. The surviving traditions that are viewed as minority in comparison to the major Abrahamic, Islam, and Christian traditions that have overtaken Africa are the religion of the Yoruba, the Xhosa, the Akan, the Nuer, the Nupe, the Kikuyu, the Zulu, the Ibibio, the Igbo, the Edo, and the Fan, to name a few. In some cases, Abrahamic traditions are rejected entirely as foreign and irrelevant for African needs. For instance, the strongest surviving religion is found in Benin. What up? What up?
What up? What up? What up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. What's up, Gideon?
Yes, sir.
Shalom, shalom. What's good?
I'm good,
Peace
man.
to you
Got your
guys.
slides, you ready? What's on your mind? You want to prove you're an Israelite? Go ahead, man. I give you the floor, man.
Well, no, we just gonna walk into it, man. But you know, when we do get to a point where we talk, and I just want to, you know, like you said, it don't have to be 7 minutes, but let's just have it understood where we just ain't gonna be talking over each other, because you know Chris like to do that a lot, and you even use it as a tactic.
You know I am.
Yeah,
I'll give you your time. I promise you.
Maybe hopefully Rob Bourne can run in here and get that work too, you know, but
oh man,
you know, it's all good, man. But yeah, but
Sabio, you could sit this one out, bro. You could sit this one out, because we're gonna go back and forth. So you could sit this one out.
We'll get you when we get to the 1500s in Turkey somewhere. You like to talk about Turkey.
Leave my man Sabio.
Y'all already there.
Y'all crazy. All right, so he brought up some important factions that with the Taylor Prism and this stuff, and you said he was dropping knowledge, right? So this right here, are you connected to these people right here? Would you consider these black people? If we want to play the lookership game, look at that picture right there and tell me that's black people.
Right, that's from that's not the what you said that was the Taylor.
That's not the Lashish. That's not the Lashish. Yeah. That's the one from the Northern Kingdom. Is that black people?
That's the Lashish relief, right?
No, this is not the Lashish relief.
What is that? That's what it looks like.
This is from what do you call it? From the Northern Kingdom, where the Northern Kingdom was being beat up.
From Assyria?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't. I mean, like if you going off that lookership, bro, you could say that's white or black people. Like you really can't tell.
I won't say they. I won't say nothing
because they look.
The only reason why I show that slide about let's say white people in Africa because it touches the soul of blackness within the Hebrew Israelites. Like all of them are black. So I like to show that just to piss people off. But anyway, let's take a look at another picture. This is closer up. And I want y'all to pay attention. These are the Assyrians drawing these people. And I want y'all to take a look at this carefully. All right. Now, this is the Lachish relief. These are the females. Would you say these females are Africans based on lookership? These are the women at the Lachish relief who are ruled by the Assyrian. I want you to look at this Assyrian face right here. Look at this Assyrian face, and I want you to look at this Judean face right here. This Northern Israel face. I want you to look at the face, and I want you to look at this face right here. All right? And I want you to look at this woman's face and tell me these are Africans based on black people, based on lookership. We're going to play the lookership game. All right, this is the next one. This is a closer one. This is the Assyrian leading on the cattle, leading the Judean slaves. Look at these women. Are these women black women? We're doing lookership now. We're playing a lookership game. Hello, lookership. This is what we're playing right now. All right, now watch this. Watch this. Watch this now. This is them again. These are the women. See that guy with the fuzzy head? The fuzzy beard, see the animals, whatever, right? Look at this right here. This is them again. This is the guy bowing down. The Judean, the Israelite king or whatever, bowing down to the Assyrian king, right? Here we go. Here we go. Who is this? Who is this right here? Whose head is this right here? This is a Nubian head. How do we know it's a Nubian head? How do we know?
Because of the feather. Because of the feather?
H.
Because of the feather. Because of the feather.
Right. But if you notice, he got a beard. Do Nubians normally have beards?
No.
All right.
Watch this.
Watch it. Well, he got a beard, right? He got a beard.
Yes, he has a beard. Correct.
I want you to pay attention now. Now look at this.
Let me teach, goddammit. Let's get it, Garfield. Let's get it.
Look at this right here. Is this a black man? Who is this on the screen?
That looks like an Assyrian or a Persian.
All right. So look at this now. Assyrian soldier holding decapitated heads of Nubian soldiers.
Got him. Game over.
All right. Now watch this. I'm gonna get off this right here, and I'm gonna show y'all something else right here. I'm gonna share my screen. This is the Lachish relief right here. Now this is the Lachish relief. You see the fuzzy head?
I got a question.
But Garfield, all of that was the Lachish relief. The Lachish relief is
no. This is not the Lachish. This is not the Lachish relief right here. This one right here. The one before was the Lachish relief. That was when they went into Egypt and all that stuff. All right, but I'm going to show y'all something.
No, that's the Lachish relief too. But go ahead.
All right.
All that you're showing is. But go ahead.
But what he's saying, Gideon, is y'all should not be using this to prove Northern Israelites. That's what he's saying.
No. Hold on. Listen. This is what I'm going to do. Right? I'm going to share another one. Right? And I want y'all to pay attention to this. Because this is something that everybody needs to hear. And it's very important. Because I like to be fair. I don't like to be not balanced and whatever. Right? So this is the Taylor prism of King Sennacherib in Nineveh. And of course, you have it right here. All right? So you have all these different things and fights and wars and all that stuff. I don't even need this slide. I don't even need this slide right here. I don't need this slide. All right. The problem is, I want to show this article. It's on academia.edu. Right? I want y'all to take a Voltron, peace and love to you, man.
Right, that's what you said. You said it was the Taylor prism at first, and I never seen a prism with depictions on it. It's usually just writing, but
all right,
I guess what you.
All right. So anyway, it's an article that I want y'all to pay attention to for me. All right. Helmet and beard depicting of enemies, Utilitarian bronze. No. Wrong article. My bad. Wrong article. This is the article that I want to show y'all. This is about the Kushites. This is my brother. He likes to talk about the Kushites. So this is the Kushite connection. You see, what a lot of people don't realize about the Sennacherib stuff is that the Jews, Hezekiah had worked out a deal with the Egyptians who were controlled by the 25th dynasty, who were the so-called Nubians. The Nubians were in charge of Egypt, right? Now,
Right, that was a Nubian dynastic period. That is correct.
So now the Egyptians were helping, under the Nubians, were helping the people in the Levant at El-Keth, at different areas, fighting off the Assyrians. So the Assyrians already didn't like the Egyptians because of that. But watch how they treat the Egyptians slaves when they capture them compared to when they capture the Nubians. Watch this. So here we go. So the aftermath of the battle. Although Sennacherib claimed the battle of El-Keth as an outright victory, Shabbatako immediately adopted new imperial titles that indicated he too considered himself a victor. On the other hand, Taharka, the commander-in-chief of the battle, did not try to hide his role when he eventually became pharaoh, something one would expect if he had suffered a crushing defeat. All right, hold on one. Let me see if I find exactly what I'm looking for.
How is everyone doing?
All right, everybody good, brother. Everybody good. All right, hold on. So the campaign against Judah now. So what happened is the army that was fighting against the Assyrians was basically Nubians. And I want to show something carefully that's important. In 1701 BC, the great Egyptian-dominated city of Lachish of the late Bronze Age had long been forgotten. Rebuilt in the 10th century BC, Lachish transformed in the late 9th century, 8th century. All right. The city is the one depicted on the walls of Room 36 in Sennacherib's palace at Nineveh. The opening scene on the slabs 1 to 4 shows a large contingent of horsemen and charioteers approaching Lachish. All right? Lachish is destroyed. The fate of the warriors and inhabitants of Lachish are portrayed on the release. In addition to the Assyrian soldiers, there are two distinctly close groups. Those wearing turban-style headdresses with scarves that hung down to their shoulders, and bare-headed men wearing plain short-sleeved long robes. This distinction has been elaborated by Christopher Ullinger and others, who note that the men wearing the headdresses are Judean captives who are well treated. In contrast, others are less fortunate. Some bare-headed prisoners are flayed alive, and the corpses of others displayed on poles. They have been identified as the vanquished military defenders of Lachish. One of the men impaled on a pole has a strange object attached to his head, interpreted by David Ushikin as the plume of a helmet and seen as a sign of the prisoner's high status. As Ushikin points out, bodies displayed on poles or impaled on stakes are relatively uncommon on Assyrian reliefs, which lends credence to the idea that these unfortunates are important personnel. However, the unusual plume is not attached to a helmet. Rather, it appears to be a single, large, upright feather, an emblem often worn by the Kushite troops. So the guys who he showed who were skinned on the poles were actually Kushites, not Israelites.
Yeah, Garfield, but let me say something real quick. Isn't that a little bit too much? Like, you're overdoing it. I mean, we know they're Kushites because of the anthropological studies. Oh yeah, that's just too much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
let's get to it. Because
But
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's just too much.
Actually, both of you brothers are wrong, because throughout the history of Israel, they've been described as Cushites. But go ahead.
All right. Okay, Gideon. All right. So the first expedition to Lachish, archaeological expedition to the Near East, directed by James Leslie Starkey, excavated 4 interconnecting cave tombs. Near the foot of the tell, the tombs were veritable Chanel houses, one filled with bodies, such and such. So anyway, they found over 1,500 bodies there. So when they test the crania, the surprising result of the cranial analysis, most pertinent to this study, is that the oldest match for the skeletons was Kerma in Upper Egypt. So the Kushite homeland. There were more males than females in the selection studied, and a number of immature skulls. Interestingly, the average age at death was lower than any other cemetery group studied, and elderly specimens were absent. These remains appear to belong to a Kushite population in their prime with higher proportion of males to females, but possibly composed of family units? If so, they must have arrived relatively recently as no one had time to grow old. Were these Cushites residents in Lachish? Possibly they were contingents of warriors and equestrians living in family groups in Lachish, just as Cushites had once lived in Samaria. One thing is certain, they died together in the carnage surrounding the fall of Lachish. They were the fighters, they were the soldiers, they were the people that were being killed off by the Assyrians because they were defending the Judeans. All right, I'm done with this. If anybody want to add on, there's a textual sources to it in the biblical text. There's textual sources to it in history. So just showing that they were, they connected, and there's Cushite involvement in Judean affairs. Let me put this in the chat, by the way, in case anybody wants to read this on their own. Because we don't hide scholarship. We give the scholarship.
Hey, Garfield, is this why he wanted 15 minutes with you, negotiating himself out of the debate yesterday?
This is funny, man. I'd rather debate Gideon, Gideon is a straight up.
Exactly.
I'd rather debate Gideon, Sutek in the building for the Mossy Warrior clan. Check them out. Check out the Mossy Warrior clan. They be doing their thing on what you want about Africa, West, Central, North, South, East, West. They get it in. Sorry, nobody said Samaria. Yeah, there was Samaria, real Samaria.
Those were people in Samaria, right? Who never mentioned anything about a King David or King Solomon, by the way.
So when looking at the Lachish Scott reliefs, Garfield, the two types of people, you see the so-called Nubians, and you see they're mostly women, but there's also a man and children dispersed in that. And from looking at that, you cannot differentiate those people. You cannot say they're one people or another. But what we can say from all of the evidence gathered is that those fallen soldiers, as depicted on face value, are Israelites based on the information of the physiognomy of Israel.
Hold on one second. Repeat the last part that you said. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
They're phenotypically the same.
All right, so you're saying that the people who I was just talking about in the article, the Nubians, that they checked their crania, the 1,500 people that died, those people you're saying that they phenotypically look like the Israelites. How do you draw that conclusion?
This is what I'm saying. However many cranial, aside from the cranial, the Israelites that were there at Lachish when it was sieged and when it was captured, along with the Nubians, because they were in league with them, they were basically the same looking type of people.
Can you prove that to us? Can you prove that to us?
Okay, all of the data that we have.
Okay, pull it up
together.
But you do realize that the people that they found the crania of, those people were connected to pre-exilic people in pre-exilic people in Egypt. So they would be Hamites technically.
That's fine. Because like we all know from the story in 2nd Chronicles that they were aligned with the Ethiopians. So that very well could have been a contingent of Ethiopians that died there. But what we also know is that the Israelites looked just like those Nubians because the historical record.
All right, can we stop? Let's stop the show. All right. Let's stop the show. I'm gonna pause the show and give you some time to provide physical evidence, some archaeology, some pictures, some look-alike, some Photoshop, whatever you want to bring forward, and just let it be known. So I'm gonna stop right here and give you the chance to do that. All right, and me and Chris will politic until you find that.
Right. Nah, I could just
I don't want
off the top
because everybody in the audience is asking for the source. So I don't agree, but if the brother bring evidence, I gotta agree with the evidence. Can you please provide that evidence, sir?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved. Peace and love.
Brother, I have a question for you.
From Garfield?
For you, Garfield, yes.
Go ahead, beloved.
Okay, for years, people have been coming. I know you've seen this. I just want to ask you. People have been coming and saying they know Arabic, correct? All the time. You see people claiming to know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a challenge. For anyone, I will, this is the challenge, right? The prize is, if anyone could beat me in this challenge, I'll follow their way of life. I'll give up Islam and I'll follow their way of life.
Are you on Facebook?
Well, not currently, but I have a Facebook. Yes.
I'm gonna call. So I don't understand the challenge at all. Why is Islam or Arabic an issue right now?
Because I've seen day after day Islam gets brought up on your show and on other shows, and
Islam.
no one is really an expert. And I don't know
Okay,
why you
okay,
guys don't
all right.
allow the experts and
All right,
people like
let me ask
yourself
you
to come
let me
in.
ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question.
But
Are you
here's
a
the challenge. Here's
hold
the
on?
challenge.
Are you a believing Muslim?
So the challenge
Hold on, beloved. I'm
for
asking.
anyone who thinks they know Arabic.
All right, next. All right. I'm gonna wait for Gideon. I'm gonna wait for Gideon to come on.
No, I was ready before my brother. You know
Yeah. So you
I'm
can share your screen. You ready to share your screen?
I mean, no, we can talk about this, bro, because I've told you about this before.
All right.
So
So I'm talking. I thought you was gonna show pictures side by side that they have. So there's no images to show side by side. Let me get that out the way because I thought you was gonna bring some images.
well, the images is Lashish, but you're saying that those are Nubian. But I'm positive, right?
All right. I'm
But
saying that they're Nubians, and the people that's standing up next to them, you could tell that they're different people, though. They're not the same people.
well, it's only like 3 or 4 people besides the Nubians that's on there. The Nubians are the vast majority of the people that we're looking at. The other people, that's why when I first asked you and you said it was the tail of prism, it kind of threw me off because every time I seen that image, I've always associated with the Lashish relief. It's actually like, I don't know how, it's several feet long. It's not just a picture. So it's several different images that's broken down. So those Nubians, unless you're saying that those are the 1,500 craniums that they checked, unless you're saying that those them, I'm saying that those are the Israelites that defended the city because they were more in number than
No,
the
it wasn't.
Ethiopian contingents.
No, it wasn't because they were the ones that were fighting the war for the Israelites. They were protecting them. They were the protectorates, brother.
No, they was aiding them.
They
They
were
was aiding them.
They were the protectors.
They were rebelling from Assyria.
Okay, that's why
Assyria had hegemony over Israel.
That's why they treated Judean slaves different. I mean, people that they caught that were Judeans different than Nubians, right? Because they lynched the Nubians. They cut their heads off.
Right.
What are you saying?
So,
why did they treat them differently then?
So wait, who's saying that they just cut the Nubian's head off?
They cut the Nubian's head off. The article that I just read.
Right, but where the article get that from?
They treated
from
them
looking at the picture full of coke.
No, from
in London somewhere. I'm saying
no,
where they got it
from the sources of the Assyrians.
Yeah, Gideon, tell him. You tell him, Gideon.
but that's what I'm saying. So what we should do is establish why do we say the Israelite is of a sub-Saharan Negro type, and that did the conversation. Go to the earliest
attestation. Gideon, wait a minute. Who says that?
Right. So
no, who says that you just stated?
So proper.
Who says that Israelites were of a what's it called of a sub-Saharan type? Right. Who says that? So it's not right. Who teaches that, brother?
Not saying for or against, but what I'm saying is to have a proper methodology about that, you would have to find the first source that speaks of the phenotype of the Israelite, and you must go from there. So when I do that,
so bring it forward then. Go ahead, bring it forward.
So none of you brothers done that before. That's what I'm asking.
No. So bring it forward.
I'm just asking y'all. What did y'all come up with? Because y'all are such pro.
Hold on, you the one that's saying it. So let's bring it forward. Let's go.
Okay. So I know you know because I've told you about it.
I don't know anything. I'm basic school right now.
Hey, Garfield, he said, I know you know. I told you about it.
Oh, yeah, no, Garfield, you're frightened.
So
go ahead, beloved.
The earliest mention of Israel as a phenotype would be from Tacitus and Strabo.
So you're saying, hold on a second. So you're saying the earliest description of Israelites in all of history is the 2nd century AD?
Well, let's just say it's the most recent to ancient history, because we have in our scriptures that describe Israel as sub-Saharan.
Didn't the Jews write themselves what they look like? They actually wrote it themselves.
Well, this is 1st century BC AD. So this is before anything from the Talmud was like written down. It was all oral. But so this is something that's written.
But from Sephardia, they give a description, right? They said they didn't look like as black as Ethiopians, and they didn't look as white as Germans. They were in
Wait,
between.
right. So what's that you talking about?
That's the Sephardi. That's the Jews giving a description of themselves.
But what source is that though?
All right, let me get it for you. The Sephardia is basically what the Jews wrote. It's from their records. Hold on a second. Let me get it for you.
Right. I'm familiar with the Sepharia, but what part? Because
description
right.
of Jews as boxwood. When they call themselves looking like
okay, you're talking about the 9th century source. That I think that's what
no,
9th century.
No, it's not a 9th century.
It's
no,
not.
It's not.
But I'm familiar with the one you're talking about. But yeah, they describe them as boxwood. Didn't our brother Zion Lakes explain it to you?
Well, Zion Lex said that boxwood means that they were black. Well, boxwoods is actually an in-between color. And if you read what they're saying explain that the bright spot in Germany appears as dull white, and the dull white spot in a Cushai appears as bright white. Rabbi Ishmael says that the children of Israel are like boxwood, neither black nor white, but of an intermediate shade. So more of like an Arabic look.
Right. So that's I could have sworn that was 9th century when that was written.
I'll find out for you before we get off.
I think, but yeah, that was you know that's Talmud, you know, and it like it says, you know, is boxwood is a brownish type, you know, and depending on where the Israelite was at on the planet, that kind of dictated his color. So that's why I'm saying as a person who is you know telling people about these things, you got to understand that yeah, it depends where they're at, but the original Israelite, the sons of Jacob, were sub-Saharan Negro type.
How do you know that?
Because the evidence showed it. I just explained. Just explained.
What evidence do you have? All right, I'm gonna deal with your evidence. What evidence do you have?
I just explained. You have two sources, Strabo and Tacitus, that establishes.
He say they were sub-Saharan type, though. That's what he's asking.
Right, and that's what they state.
What did Strabo say?
Where does
and that's what you brothers got to deal with. Like that's why I don't understand.
Hold on a second. What does Strabo say? Let's get to what Strabo says.
Strabo, I mean, like just paraphrasing him, he says that they of ancient Egyptian origin. Now, what would you brother say ancient Egyptians are? Not the 1st century BC Ptolemaic or the Assyrian.
Are you talking about ancient Egyptians?
Hold on a second, Chris. Hold on a second, Gideon. Let's look at Strabo. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Let's get Strabo and when Strabo existed. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with it slowly. We're not gonna go fast tonight. I got time tonight. So Strabo first. I'm gonna put it on the screen, right? So everybody could see it. I'm not doing no secret information. All right. So let's go to Strabo. Right. This is a Google search for Strabo. So Strabo was a Greek geographer, philosopher, and historian who lived in Asia Minor during the transitional period of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. He was born 63 BC in Turkey, and he died 23 AD. So you're saying that he said, did you say Strabo said they look like the Egyptians?
Right, the ancient Egyptians.
Okay, he said they look like the ancient Egyptians. That's what he said.
Right.
All right, how did the ancient Egyptians look?
I mean, that's where we leave it to you, brothers. And according to you, brothers, and several other sources, the ancient Egyptians, as well as the ancient Cushites, were black, sub-Saharan Negro.
Hold on, in 65 BC, Egypt had already failed.
All right,
especially if we're talking about
do you concur with what he said, Garfield?
Hold on, Garfield, let me get this. I'm familiar with this argument.
Chris, do you concur with what he just said? Because I'll take 2 for 1.
All right, hold on a second. Stop for a minute. You know what we're doing, Chris? You know what we do wrong?
Yeah.
We are responding, and we haven't seen the source that said that.
But I've seen the source. I know this argument.
Yeah, let him put it out. We got to do it for the audience. We have to do it.
Okay.
We have to do it. So, my brother, can you point out to that source, please, sir? Or you want me to Google it, or you want me to bring it up on the screen?
You can just Google the geography of Strabo. I think it's volume 2 or volume 3, something like that.
Come on, Gideon, don't do that.
Yeah, I got it. All right, and then where in it are we gonna see it?
Just Google Strabo on the Jews, and it's gonna
Hey
bring you to
Garfield,
the
I'm about to
article.
come in through my laptop. Okay, let me in through my
Good,
laptop.
good, good.
This is
Uh-oh.
interesting. Okay, yeah,
You got him on his laptop. That's problem
yeah.
for
Let me
you.
pull up my laptop here so I can show the source. Okay.
Cause that always baffles me with you brothers and sisters. Like y'all act like we
Yeah,
just pulling out the
I'm not,
fact that
bro.
Israelites, the
I'm not,
ancient Israelites, were
hey,
black,
bro.
and
Nobody
y'all will
is.
have to
I'm not
debunk this
saying.
source.
I don't have to debunk anything. I just want to see the source and what it actually says. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Have you ever examined it? I'm just
That's
asking.
what I'm doing now. I'm
You
looking at
never,
it.
you never looked at it.
No, for what?
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, let's look at this guy right here. It's probably featured in the presentation, but they represent part of this study their connection. I forgot I didn't know this wasn't. Okay, hold on. I need to actually find the source that you're mentioning. I don't have it.
Let me pull it up. All right. Geography of Strabo is volume 3. All right, so I got it right here, but I need to know if you brothers are gonna interrupt me or not.
No, are you gonna share it on your screen?
Right. Hold let me pull it up.
Yeah, you gotta share it on your screen, brother.
All right, let me share it. All right, share screen. So am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you are.
All right, so there you go, right there. So don't interrupt me, please, while I read it, and I appreciate it. So the Geography of Strabo, Volume 3. The western extremities of Judea towards Caches are occupied by Idumeans or Edomites, and by the lake Sarbonis, which is the Dead Sea. The Idumeans are Nabateans. When driven from their country by sedition, they passed over to the Jews, adopted their customs. The greater part of the country along the coast of Jerusalem is occupied by Lake Sarbonis and by the tract contiguous to it. For Jerusalem is near the sea, which, as we have said, may be seen from the arsenal of Joppa. These districts of Jerusalem and Joppa lie toward the north. They are inhabited generally, in each place in particular, by mixed tribes of Egyptians, Arabians, and Phoenicians. Now, when I'm breaking it down, and that's why when I asked if you concur with what Chris said, but because Chris was saying, well, this guy is from 64 BC. He's talking about those. No, that's where the methodology go off, because right there he's talking about the contemporary people in Judea, and he's saying that they are mixed tribe of Egyptians, Arabians, and Phoenicians. Of this description are the inhabitants of Galilee, of the plain of Jericho, and the territories of Philadelphia, which became Palestine, Samaria's name, surnamed Shabazz by Herod. So he's saying that you looking at all these people, and it's just a mixed tribe of all these people. But look what he said, and this is where you got to break it down and be able to look at what you're reading and disseminate it. He say, but although there is such a mixture of inhabitants, the report most credited among many things believed respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews. So if you're talking about the ancestor of the present Jews, you're going to 2nd century BC, millennium, or rather, I'm sorry,
What's
the
that
2nd
website?
millennium. So it ain't a website. That's a source.
Oh, no. Chris, don't interrupt him. Let him rock.
That's a source. That's not a.
That's not me talking. I ain't saying nothing. That's somebody else. That ain't me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a website.
Bro, finish what you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
So when you're looking at it and you're breaking it down, Strabo is saying that these people are from the ancient Egyptians, and that's what our records say. We were in Egypt for over 150 years. We went in there 70 people, and the sons of our sons slept with Egyptian women and made children.
Okay.
So
hey, one question. I'm not interrupting you or nothing.
Nah, I'm done with the source. I mean,
where's that source from? Where is it from? You said Strabo.
That's from the Geography of Strabo, Volume 3.
Book what?
10, 15, 16. Book 16.
Book 16, and it's
right.
Hold on one second. Don't move. Hold on a second. Who's that? Trying to come in. All right. Hold on one second. Because I'm gonna bring up the primary Babylon accent. Moses Prince. Chris, you wanted to say something in the meantime?
Yeah, this is somewhat of a mixed bag here, and I do understand what he's saying, but you got to understand what Strabo is presenting here. What he states is, and if you read this thoroughly, it says right here, it says, these districts of Jerusalem and Joppa lie towards the north. They are inhabited generally, and each place in particular, by mixed tribes of Egyptians, Arabians, and Phoenicians. Of this description are the inhabitants of Galilee. Now it says mixed tribes of Egyptians because that's what Semitic people were, mixed tribes of Arabians and Phoenicians.
One second, beloved. Chapter what, my dude? Gideon, what chapter?
That would be chapter 10, 15, 16, chapter 16.
I know it's 16, Geography 16, but what chapter?
Oh, chapter 2.
Chapter 2?
I think, because it say 2 through 34, but I think it's chapter 16.
No, it's 16, Geography 16, but there's a chapter to it.
Okay, well, try 2.
Okay. All right,
but yeah, Chris.
No, can I finish real quick, brother? Let me finish real quick.
No, go ahead.
So it's saying that these people were all mixed up. It says that they were mixed tribes of Egyptians and Arabians and Phoenicians. Listen what it says. It says, of this description are the inhabitants of Galilee. So it was saying there was a number of different groups of people living there. Now watch this. It says, of the plain of Jericho and the territories of Philadelphia and Samaria, surnamed Sabbatisi by Herod. But although there is such a mixture of inhabitants, the report most credited, one among many things believed respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews. Now, it doesn't mention if they were black or white here. This is just conjecture and a lot of assertions that you're making into this because you see the word Egyptian there. But if we're looking at the Egyptian period in around 65 BCE, that would be, in fact, the Roman period where they were all mixed up at this point, especially in the northern half of Galilee and Jericho. That's a known fact. It doesn't say that these people were black. You're asserting that, and you're using conjecture to prove that. That's not fair, Gideon.
Just let me know when
this is not enough to prove your argument here.
Just let me know
that
when
these
you're
were
done.
sub-Saharan Africans.
Just let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
All right, so you, bro, like, to be real, you read that bad because the first thing you said was you made it seem like they was just talking about Galilee, and you stopped. And it's funny because let me see if it's even a period right there. It's a comma. It's not even a period. So you should have kept going when it said the inhabitants of Galilee, the plain of Jericho, the territories of Philadelphia, which is Jordan, Samaria, surpassed by Herod, and also it says the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So that was a move. Like what you said didn't even, like, you made, like, you showing me like you're not really looking at this, you being subjective. And as far as to your point is, that's conjecture where I'm saying that it doesn't say they black. No, that's another thing you got to understand. I'm not talking to you, Chris. I'm just saying what a person got to understand when they looking at this. They're not like their world wasn't built in black and white as it is today. So you got to look at indirect mentions of it. So what I'm gonna do for you, because I could have sworn you and Chief X was beefing, because Chief X is saying the same thing.
Chief X has nothing to do with this conversation.
Chief X is saying the ancient Egyptians.
Why are you bringing him
He's
up?
saying that no, because
why are you doing that?
Why are you bringing him up?
Okay, well, there's this person who says the ancient Egyptians are not black, and that's what you're saying. I could have sworn that you were saying he's lying, but I could be wrong.
What are we worried about that person for, though?
Because I'm saying, bro, if we're having a conversation and we're being real, we're not right. So your scholarship on one platform should stand against when you on another platform.
All right, hold on. Let me show this on the screen real quick.
Unless you just debate for sport.
I didn't get to comment on this. Let me take that off the screen for a second. Let me remove this off the screen. Look at this right here. I want to say I think I'm figuring out why I didn't know this source before and what was going on. All right, let me just give everybody a scenario. When the Jews, right? Remember, Strabo is from Turkey, right? And what happened is there was some the Exodus story is like a polemic response to all these people who were anti-Semitic. So they had these views that were anti-Semitic towards these people who are Judeans and where they originate from. Because if you look at this story, right, the western extremities of Judah towards Cassius are occupied by Idumeans and by the lake, Cerbernus, whatever. It gives you the source of where he got this from, right? So now surname Hebas by Herod. But although there's such a mixture of inhabitants, the report most credited among many things believe respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews. Watch this. Click on 166 now. What does it say? It says, our author again says that the Jews were originally Egyptians. So also Josephus also says this. Watch this. Watch this now. Watch this. Watch this now. He now goes on to tell the story about Moses controlled Lower Egypt. And then when he controlled Lower Egypt, he left out of Egypt and started a temple where? In Judea. We know that's not the biblical tradition, right? But if you look at Tacitus.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Say that again. You said Josephus said what?
Not Josephus. This tradition here, if you look at it, because you can't just read, you got to read before and after. You got to read before what it says, what they're talking about. You got to read after. What they're talking about is where the Jews come from and their tradition.
Hey guys, I got to cut out of here. Thanks for letting me on, Garfield. I got to go eat.
Whose tradition this is, bro? This is Hectaeus of Abdera's tradition. This is Hectaeus of Abdera, the Greek guy's tradition of Moses. This is the first time Moses was mentioned in the 4th century BC. He said that he came out, they were exiled out, and Moses was the one that started the city, the temple in Jerusalem. That's not true.
There's a lot of things.
Hold on, bro. Everybody gonna talk, bro. Trust me, I'm gonna make you talk tonight. Trust me, bro. I'm gonna let you talk as much as you want tonight. What happened is, Strabo is giving a description, right? He's giving a description of the Jews. But if you notice something that happened also, look at this right here, family. Look at this. This is what he's about to bring up with Tacitus, right? So let's go to what Tacitus, this is from livius.org. This is where you get primaries because we don't read the language. So we got to go to livius.org, right? He talks about where the Jews come from also, Chris. He talks about them coming from Crete. In one set that he said, many assure us that the Jews are descended from those Ethiopians who were driven by fear and hatred to immigrate from their home country when Cepheus was king. There are some who say that the motley collection of landless Assyrians occupied a part of Egypt and then built cities of their own inhabiting the land of the Hebrews and the near part. So he's going to read this part that many assure us that the Jews are descended from those Ethiopians. But what we don't realize is what Tacitus is doing is giving us different point of views of stories that they say the Jews come from. Another one, he said most authorities, however, agree on the following account. The whole of Egypt was once plagued by a wasting disease which caused bodily disfigurement. So Pharaoh Baccharis went to the oracle of Hammon to ask for a cure and was told to purify his kingdom by expelling the victims to other lands as they lay under a divine curse. Thus, a multitude of sufferers were rounded up and herded together and abandoned in the wilderness. Here the exiles tearfully resigned themselves to their fate, but one of them, who was called Moses, urged his companions not to wait, and he went on to go build the city, right here. Built the holy city and temple, which is not the true story, but this story comes from Hectaeus of Abdera. So this is one of the stories. There's 5 different stories here. So he's saying the origin, this is where they come from and all that stuff. Not just that he heard that they come from Ethiopians. That's what he said. That's what Gideon is about to tell us. You go read Tacitus. He said they come. No, he didn't. He's telling me what he heard. He heard y'all was kicked out of Egypt. He heard that y'all come from the Ethiopians and y'all was actually Assyrians. They only always read this part, Chris. Many assure us that the Jews are descended from Ethiopians, but they don't include the part who said that a motley collection of landless Assyrians. So now the Hebrews was Assyrians? This is the same story before Gideon bring it up. I'm going to bring it up. So this is Tacitus, ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Because these Hebrews always say, they said they're Ethiopians. Okay, read what he's saying. He's giving a compilation of different things that they say about Jews. So you have Tacitus on the Jews. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. 4 different things that he said where the Jews come from. And the only one they're going to mention is the one about Ethiopians, because they want to attach Ethiopians to blackness. So it's the same thing now with Strabo. When Strabo said whatever he's saying, he's just saying that his story that he heard is that they come from Egypt. He's telling a version of Hectaeus of Abdera's story from the 4th century. So they're telling the same story, but Tacitus has more editions of the same story. This guy have the same story, but he tell it a little different way. That they come from Egypt and they was kicked out and Moses started a temple in Jerusalem, which is not the biblical tradition. So this is not even biblical. But anyway, go ahead, Chris, and then Gideon. Go ahead, Chris. Everybody jump off? All right. Go ahead, Gideon.
So what's interesting, bro, like, that's how you gotta, what you're saying, bro, like, that's not my point. You're arguing something else. We're not talking about where they come from and who we are and things like that, because I would suggest you go to the scriptures, because that's what we say. That's what other people say about us. So let me show you how it's real easy how I do it. That's like if somebody write a book about you. They can describe you and know and be on point. Garfield looks such like this, like that, like that. But if they don't talk to you, they don't know your family, they can't tell nobody where you come from or this or that. They don't know that. I'm not dependent on Strabo or the other white boy, Tacitus, to tell us that. I'm just using what his eyes see. And even if you want to say he wasn't there to see it, which is doubtful because he lived in the 1st century, BC and AD, both of them. So even if you want to use that argument, that argument wouldn't fly, because both times they both say, most people say they come from Ethiopians or Egyptians. He would be smart enough to know, and that lie wouldn't last to be what most people say, because they had Germans in Jerusalem at that time. They could have said, man, that's especially Appian, because that's where they get most of their information from. So Appian would have said, these are just some renegade Greeks who trying to invent their culture. That's why I laugh at it when I hear that position put forward. So I'm using Tacitus and Strabo for their eyes, what their eyes see. Because
hey, Gideon, would you agree, right? And I'm talking to you man to man right now, that this is not, they're not giving a physical description. They're just telling where they come from.
They're giving.
So when they said that they come from Egypt, is he saying that they are Egyptians or that they come from Egypt?
Yeah.
Look at what Strabo says. Strabo says, look at let's go back to what he says. Exactly. He says, but although there is such a mixture of inhabitants, the report most credited among many things believed respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews.
Right.
So would you say that, do you believe that
ancestors not relate?
Hold on. Do you believe the ancestors of the Judeans or the Jews are Egyptians? Do you believe that?
No, but I can see how somebody outside looking in would think that.
Why is he saying that? And why is he saying Moses built a temple? Why is he saying Moses built a temple in Jerusalem, which is not biblical? None of this is biblical, bro. He's not giving a description. He's just saying that's where they come from. He's not talking about how they look.
That's
you are imposing that on the record. Another thing is, too, Tacitus is saying that they come from the Ethiopians who were connected to Assyrians. You don't believe that, beloved. You don't. Come on, Gideon. Come on, bro. You got to do better than it. You don't believe that the Jews come from Ethiopians who were really Assyrians. You don't believe that, black man. You don't believe that. You don't believe that. Nah, Gideon. You don't, bro. There's no way you believe that. You don't believe that, bro. You don't believe that. I know you don't believe that. I know it. Well, go ahead, bro. What's the next thing you want to bring up? Because none of these that you pointed out brings descriptions of the people. They're just saying where they come from. Right. And the one that says Ethiopian is pointing them to people who were Assyrians. Unless you're saying the Assyrians are the Ethiopians, which is what this source is saying.
So what you did, I don't know if you misspoke or you whatever, but you said that Strabo didn't say that they come from the Egyptians, they just lived in the area, where the source clearly contradicted what you're saying, because it said they're the ancestors of.
Yeah, they said that
the ancestors isn't like tied to land.
He's not talking about color. He's just saying where they come from.
Right.
Referring to color. You are imposing color on the conversation, bro.
But okay, so would it be safe to say that the ancient Egyptians could be classified under color today, that they were a color back then?
It's not a color. This is not a color conversation, because
hold
on, I could bring up images right now that shows a whitish, yellowish, a bunch of women that my brother Wujao put on his channel the other day that show a bunch of whitish, yellowish women. Are you gonna say those are the Egyptians? You gonna say that's fake?
A lot of whitish, yellowish women from where? Like, you
from
gotta finish the sentence.
From Egypt.
When?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, because you're
Alexander the Greek. He came there and colonized it. The Persians came and colonized it. The Babylonians. So it does, bro.
Not during that time period. It's in the early Egypt time period. But the point I'm trying to make to you is, you want to make all the Egyptians black or whatever,
just the
brown.
ancient ones.
I don't care what color the Egyptians were. All I'm saying to you has nothing to do with that. You don't believe Jews come from Egyptians, bro. You don't believe Egyptians are the ancestors of the Jews. Why are you even using this source?
Okay, you misheard me, Garfield.
Egyptians are Hamites and Jews are Shemites. Why would you want to believe a source that's saying that the Jews are Hamites? Why, bro? Just to prove a color argument? Come on, bro. You got to do better, man. You will step outside your belief to try to prove that they're black? This is nuts. Come on, bro. You got to stay on top.
So to have a conversation about contemporary Black Americans and trying to find their lineage from ancient times, you would have to logically be able to put color as it's applied today, which is a misnomer, but it's still here, which is what's called oppression. But you would have to be able to apply yourself in ancient times and vice versa. So for you to say you can't even apply ancient Egyptians as being black, that's crazy. And I'm sorry you misheard me.
By the way,
hold on, just 10 more seconds. Can I chat? And I'm sorry, you misheard me. I'm not saying all Egyptians were black. I'm not saying that. My bad if you think I'm saying that ancient Egyptians were black. And that's what Strabo is saying.
How do you know that?
Well, the evidence that I've gathered and what other people, that's what I'm saying. Like, It's
So
a
you
lot
have
of people.
evidence, you have evidence that all the Egyptians in history were black?
No, again,
You do know that they're
again,
mixed
bro.
with West Asian culture, right? You do know
Bro,
that they're mixed, right? A lot of them are mixed. You know that,
listen.
right?
You
All right, but the
keep giving
point
me
is,
arguments that I'm not
okay,
making. I'm not
I'm
saying
trying to
all
figure out.
Egyptians
Hold
are
on,
black.
bro. What is in Strabo conversation that he's trying to say that they are? He's trying to say your ancestors an Egyptian. That's where you come
Yeah,
from.
he's using lookership.
No, he's not. He's basing it on the tradition that he heard. Listen to the conversation. Listen. Let me read it again. Of this description are the inhabitants of Galilee, of the plain of Jericho, and of the territories of Philadelphia and Samaria, surnamed Sebaste by Herod. But although there is such a mixture of inhabitants, the report most credited among many things believed respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews.
Right.
How is color being injected? Egyptians as a nationality, bro.
No, so what we would have to
Or
do.
if you hold on. Then it says an Egyptian priest named Moses. Was Moses an Egyptian priest?
If you
I'm
were
asking you now.
if
Hold
you
on.
were on the
Listen to the
outside
question.
looking in, you would think
Hold
so.
on,
Yeah,
brother.
if you didn't know.
All right, hold on a
right.
second. I'm asking you: was Moses an Egyptian priest?
Well, I mean, his life with Israel started when he was like 40, bro.
I'm asking you a
So
simple
he grew up.
question.
He grew up in the court of the Pharaoh, bro. So
I'm asking you a simple question, brother. Was Moses in the Bible? Because that's your tradition that you're claiming. Was he an Egyptian priest?
In the Bible, no. But
all right.
It's outside sources that says he was very involved in the government of Egypt.
Watch this, brother. Watch this. Did Moses help to build? Did Moses ever get into the land, into the promised land? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no, brother?
So we're leaving Strabo, right?
Question.
I just want you to know we done.
No, I'm asking you a simple question.
Go
Did Moses go into the promised land?
No, he did not.
All right. Did Moses help to build the temple?
In Jerusalem, no.
All right. So the source that you're reading is basically hearsay that's full of misinformation that contradicts your entire biblical text.
Wait,
hold on.
You
want to rock with it because they say they come from Egypt, and you're trying to say Egyptians are black. So, bro, you're misinterpreting the source,
bro. You are you on your way to getting your master license and rebutting just to be rebutting, bro. Because
I'm just trying to say to you. I'm trying to say to you, bro. I'm just trying to say to you, brother. The source that you brought out to say that straight. This is why I asked you for the source. Strabo's source is repeating what Hectaeus of Abdera is saying. He's the first person to mention Moses in history. Okay? The first person. So he mentioned Moses and coming out of Egypt, being kicked out of Egypt. This story by Strabo is repeating that story. And Tacitus is also repeating that story. Not the one with the Ethiopian and the Assyrians and all that craziness. I'm talking about the other version. He said the most popular story, which is the same thing Strabo said. The most popular story is about being kicked out of Egypt. So they're saying that you are an Egyptian. That's what they're saying. You're physically a Hamite. That's what they're saying. And for you to use a source that contradicts your entire text and your belief, I don't understand what you're doing.
But they say we're Hamites now because we look alike. We've been intermingling with each other since Arxfad and the son of a Hamite. I mean, Arxfad, and we've been.
Let's move on. I'm ready to move on. Are you ready to move on, or you want to stay on this?
I mean, wherever you want to take it, bro.
All right, so you want to take it.
It don't matter.
All right, so where you want to take it next?
It's just like I say, man. Some of the things that you brothers say, and like you weren't familiar with the Strabo information, which I think that's kind of interesting. But
Strabo's information, are you familiar? Are you familiar with Hectaeus of Abdera's information?
No, I'm not him in particular. No.
Okay. Hey, shout out to Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. I saw you come in, bro. Come back on, man, beloved. Love that brother, man. Listen to what I'm saying. That story you heard in Strabo, I may not have been aware of it, but it's the same story that somebody in the 4th century BC told. Hectares of Abdera. So you say you don't know, I don't know Strabo.
So
You don't know Hectares of Abdera.
all it means, Garfield, that it's consistent, that it's
All
not made up. So
All
you're
right.
actually
All right.
bolstering my point.
But you know what? The story that they
They've
heard
always,
the
even
story
look,
that they heard,
Garfield,
hold on.
even in the
Hold on.
Bible, they're mistaken for Egyptians.
Hold on, beloved.
Like
I don't think you understand the story that you
that's
told.
wild.
The story that you told, brother, is from Hectares of Abdera, and it's
No,
not.
that's you would have to prove that.
Made it up. He made that story up.
You
see,
have to
this is
prove
what I'm
that,
trying to
'cause
tell you.
You're making that up unless you show it, Garfield.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying you're making it up unless you show it.
Hectares of Abdera made that story up. You know what? I'm not even going to bring it up right now. You don't have to believe me. Don't believe me. I don't show the source. Don't believe me. But I guarantee you this. That story that you see in Tacitus and you see in Strabo comes from that guy.
So now, that's what I'm saying. Just it's being so subjective that you're actually saying that the ancient Egyptians were not black.
I'm not saying nothing.
No, that's exactly. If Strabo is saying that the ancestors, if Strabo is saying the ancestor of the Israelites are Egyptians,
let's clear this up.
He's wrong.
Hold on.
But
hold on. Yo, get in. You know what I'm gonna do? Who is a believer in the Bible right now in the chat? I need a believer in the Bible to read this, because maybe I'm not clear. Maybe my Jamaican accent is in the way. I don't know. Pan-Africanism strikes back. Maybe you could read this for us, because maybe I'm not getting this. Maybe because I don't speak English very
get
well.
It, but the point I'm not getting, Garfield, is that the ancestors.
You are not getting it because you don't get the
just show me that the ancestors,
bro,
the ancient Egyptians.
It said that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews. That,
right.
First of all, that's historically incorrect. That's biblically incorrect.
Right.
And we know this is incorrect. So
right.
for you to now agree with the source that said the Egyptians were the ancestors, you now inject in your blackity black mind that, hey, it's Egyptian, so they trying to say that the Jews were black.
No,
so
hold
on. Watch this, family. Let me ask you a question. Did the Jews come from Egyptians?
No,
they
patrilineally come from Jacob.
Hold on. This is saying that the Jews come from Egyptians. Did the Jews come from Egyptians?
Bro, what I want you to do, make your point and end it with a question. And then
Garfield.
Yo,
I'm baffled.
They probably did come from Egyptians, because I don't know any group of people who supposedly were enslaved for 400 years, but never intermixed with the society that they were enslaved by, especially when they outnumbered that society supposedly by like 5 to 1. The question with these guys, you just got to go straight to the Bible and ask them to explain the scriptures that don't go along with the stuff they're teaching. For example, John 8:33. We are Abraham's descendants, and we've never been enslaved to anyone. Explain that. Or when Deuteronomy 23, do not abhor the Edomite. Everything they do, everything they build their argument on, the Bible basically debunks it. Oh, we're black Israelites. Well, David was ruddy. He was redheaded. Esau was also redheaded. So David looked just like Esau, who the Edomites, the supposed Edomites descend from. We could argue the Bible talks about animals being ruddy or red, right? And you see that animals aren't really red in the sense of like, oh, they're flaming red or white. You know, there's so many things they say. When they came out of Egypt, Moses, when he threw the bull's blood onto the people, he didn't segregate between the people. He told the men to bring all the people, and we know that if all the people came, there were people of all nationalities present at the base of Mount Sinai, right? Because when he sprinkled the blood on them, so they all entered into the covenant. The covenant is not race based, you know, because it was made with people who weren't even of the same race. The Bible says, do not abhor the Hamite. Oh, but they do that. Everything the Bible says, they go against. They break the laws every single day. And they don't just break the laws that no one can keep. They break the laws that are easy to keep, like don't abhor the Edomite because he's your brother. Don't abhor the Hamite because you were a stranger in his land. All that stuff. They break those easy laws. It's nothing Bible based. It's just a bunch of dudes who don't really read that well, who got a bunch of other dudes following them. It's a cult of personality, not biblical.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So that was a long time, but you was able to speak, but so I almost know where to start, bro, because it actually was a lot of baby food, and what I mean by that, it was mixed up stuff. Like you're 1 minute you're saying the Bible is wrong, and then you're saying the Bible is right. People are just not upholding it. So it's like you coming from a lot of different places, and I try to keep conversation separate. If you want to get into a spiritual conversation about the scriptures, we can do that. Or if you want to get into a historical using the Bible, as well, conversation, let's do that. But we're not going to just have a whole bunch of baby food.
I never said the Bible
platform
wasn't legitimate, bro. You put words in my mouth. You guys, what you're teaching does not coincide with what the Bible says.
How do you know what I put forward?
No Hebrew Israelite group is teaching what the Bible says. Maybe one that I found adheres to the scriptures, and they agreed that the Hebrews
the
are
Bible
not
says
black.
going to be. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, that's what I'm saying, but like you disjointed in what you're saying. The scriptures, bro, from Genesis to Revelation says Israel is going to rule. So you're telling me Israelites got it wrong, but the Bible got it right. But the Bible is saying Israel is the saints of the Most High. So that's what I'm saying. You spitting a lot of baby food, bro. Like
the Bible says that Israel will be made up
all
of
over the
people.
place, bro. Like
Listen,
scholastically speaking.
Brother, you don't have to make up stuff. The Bible says that Israel will be made up of people of all nations, tribes, tongues.
When I said that's not the case, though, that's what I'm saying. But you
Revelation
don't even know
7:9.
me, and you like saying what I believe. You don't much know what I believe.
But
and I've talked with you before, and you like mismatched. That's why I say you spitting a lot of baby food, because some stuff you know and some stuff you totally wrong. The other day you was giving death penalties for stuff that's not even in the Bible. So you read a little bit of the Bible, and then you seen some, I don't know what, but you.
Bro, I
used
to be a minister. I used to be a minister.
All right,
I see
where you went wrong
teaches.
I see where you went wrong.
If you go by what the Bible teaches versus what you want it to say, you will get some truth. But you guys are if you want to talk about somebody,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Should we hate the Edomites or not?
We shouldn't hate no man.
Okay, so why is the Hebrew Israelites on my corner talk about death to America and the Edomite is this and that? He should bow to us and kiss our feet. He's lower than dirt. The women deserve to get raped. Bro, we can go through it verse by verse. You're going to have to admit, if you stick to the Bible, you have to admit that what most of you guys are teaching is not Bible-based. It's just identity politics.
Right, bro. You talking to the wrong. You need to talk to the people that's on the corner, bro.
No, like, bro. I don't. See, it's baby food though. You say, "Oh, that's baby food."
Yeah, no, that is.
Dismiss what I'm saying,
hey, bro. Like, bro. When I came into the knowledge of self, bro, I entertained camp logic for like, and that's no disrespect to my camp brothers, like probably a day or so, bro, because it got to line up, bro. So what you're saying is your knowledge has not exceeded a place where you can rebut what you hearing on the corner,
Brother Garfield,
and with the
Brother
Bible.
Garfield,
because the Bible is not telling you to just hate a person
if it's baby food. If it's baby food, he should be able to debunk it within 10 seconds. No, because this scripture says this. This is just a way to deflect and be dismissive of the reality.
Why would I have to do that? I agree with you. The Bible does not tell us to hate any race.
You just said that's baby food. You just dismissed me, said I didn't know what I was talking about. Now you agree with me?
Yeah, but it's still baby food though.
Nah, bro. Well, we dealing with babies because most black folks don't even read the Bible. So give the babies the baby food.
You're spitting baby food. That's why I said it.
Bro, I'm spitting basics that go against your fundamental premise, bro. If the
What is
Hebrew
my premise?
Israelites,
That's what I'm saying.
if the Israelites are not black, then what is the point of your whole religion existing?
No, the
The
Israelites
Bible
were black.
specifically. Listen, there's no way you can prove that.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. You spitting big, like you in and out.
But there's no way you could prove it. The Bible is not a race-based book. It's literally the Israelites were Canaanites. You're not a Canaanite. You're not
According
a Semite.
to the Bible, it's only one race, the human race. It's nations. Now, if you
Bro,
wanna,
you're a Hamite.
if
I'm
there's
a
such
Hamite.
if there's such a word for Israelite races or nationalism, yeah, because Israel is the only nation that's going to survive until the end, and we're going to rule in the end times. That's a fact.
Well, but that nation includes Edomites, it includes Hamites,
Look,
it includes all kinds of people.
I'm pretty convinced you a Hamite. If you come under the covenant of Israel, you can graft yourself in, and we won't look at you as a Hamite by nation. Even
I'm the same. Listen, I'm the same thing as you, brother.
You'll be Israel.
I'm the same thing as you. I was not born in Africa. My parents are not Africans, nothing. I was born in California, and I studied the Bible very thoroughly.
Nah, I've heard you speak about the Bible. You've been incorrect.
No. But you can't say what
I
I'm
wouldn't have
wrong.
to go 2 videos deep into your catalog and show you
Brother Garfield. Brother Garfield, what
I do that. So be careful what you say.
Brother Garfield, what have I said? What have I said about the Bible that was not scripturally based?
No, I'm saying on your past.
That wasn't biblically based.
I'm speaking on the past stream you had when I came on your show. And
you can go on the past, the future, whatever.
You lied several times on the Bible.
I don't
That's
lie.
what I'm saying.
You
confused. You saying the Bible is true, but then you was lying on the Bible on your last stream.
No, I get
it. I get it. It feels good off the tongue. That's what they say when they repent and they come into Yeshua. That's what they say. It just felt good spitting venom. And I'm not saying, but you lied on the Bible.
I'm saying is the book you're using that you guys say validates your argument and position. It does not say what you guys are saying. It says the message is giving.
But what am I saying? You said I hate Edomites, and I said the Bible doesn't say that. I don't believe that.
Your religious group.
So what you're doing is you're being subjective with like your position don't even make sense, because one minute you're saying you believe in the Bible, but then you're saying what Israel believes is wrong. But if you read in the Bible, true Israel is never going to deviate from the word of the Most High.
Even the Bible says,
whether you're a blood descendant of Jacob,
no, I'm not.
Or you are a person, as what Garfield like to say, a convert. It's all the same.
You're a Gentile. But you're still an Israelite. Okay,
right.
Let's get this straight first.
You can say it, but you got to prove it, though.
Listen, I'm not an Israelite. I'm none of that, because being an Israelite don't mean nothing. All the Israelites did throughout the whole Bible was break the laws of the God they claim to worship and kill people who look like them. If that's the lineage that you want to claim, then you do that, right? Because a good tree don't produce no bad fruit, which is what the Bible say. And if you look in that Bible, it's a lot of bad fruit up in the ranks of Israel.
Right, but you know what's funny?
Even the king.
That's the apples. That's the apples argument, what you just gave me.
Okay.
Just because we was no good and we disobeyed the Most High, we can't be descendant from Israel. That's what the apples say. You know what we did in Africa. Ain't nothing, just because they hate Africa, they're willing to dismiss the whole lineage from Africa.
Forget about Africa.
You have the same argument.
Moses, David, Solomon, Manasseh, Ahab. Name to me where the purity of this is at, because every last one of these people,
he destroyed the Swazi culture.
But
Askia Muhammad, he enslaved millions of Africans, whoever you call them, black, Israelites, whatever. So why you say you're African? See how that don't make no sense? That's the apples argument. I can't answer that. That don't make no sense.
Brother, listen. Here's the difference. These people never entered a covenant saying that they wouldn't do that. All of those kings of Israel did malicious, vicious things. Some of the most Ridiculous
now
stuff
you're
I've
saying
ever
it was
heard of.
primitive in Africa.
Well,
They didn't
wait a
have
minute.
covenants with the people.
Hey,
Brother,
I'm
hold
back.
on.
I'm back. Hold on one
Right.
second, guys. I
Yeah,
just want to
get
read
this
this
guy, man.
Hectaeus of
Get this guy,
Abdera
man.
source. It's
You
a
got
3rd,
it.
4th century BC. Hold on, brother. Greek historian and ethnographer. He evidently visited Jerusalem and was the first pagan who wrote extensively on the history of the Jews, incorporating it into his account of Egypt. A summary of it has been preserved in Diodorus, the 1st century historian, via Photius. From the time of Emora, there lived minorities in Egypt whose manner of sacrificing differed from that of the general population. When a plague occurred, the Egyptians expelled them. Some found refuge in Greece. The majority fled to Judea, then uninhabited. Their leader Moses found Hierosolima and its temple, establishing a cult and a constitution which differed completely from any other. Okay? That's the first time somebody wrote about Egyptians.
So how can you? That's what I'm saying. You can't say
Hold
that
on.
the other
Now,
writer
this
got it from
account
you.
about Egyptians being expelled is the same story. It's the same story, my brother, that you see in Strabo and the same story that you see in Tacitus. It's the same tradition. They just worded it differently. It's the same story. And a matter of fact, I have 10 more Greek scholars who told the story about where Jews come from before Strabo.
Right, but you
If you
can't
want,
say Strabo.
as a matter of fact, let me bring it up right now. I'm gonna bring them up right now because I like to bring sources. Moses and the Exodus according to the ancient Greeks. This is from a story from Neil Godfrey's Vidar website, but it has the primaries and everything. Hectaeus of Abdera. Hold on a second here. Hold on one second. Let me see if I could find what the other. Hold on one second. But anyway, hold on a second before you guys go on. Is there another issue, Gideon? Because I want to move on from this Strabo story and whatever.
Yeah,
I
just want to close on that point by saying that you can't say that Strabo got that from Hectaeus by the simple fact that he doesn't repeat what he says about Moses building a temple. He doesn't even mention Moses, so you can't say that just because it's mentioned first that he got it.
Who don't mention Moses?
Strabo.
Strabo doesn't mention Moses.
Not in what I just read.
Hold on a second, beloved. Don't move 1 inch.
Yeah. Remember now,
don't move an inch. Don't move an inch.
This will be the second time you did it.
Right here. See, the temple. Among many things believed respecting the temple and the inhabitants of Jerusalem is that the Egyptians were the ancestors of the present Jews. Scroll down. An Egyptian priest named Moses. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about what I read as far as the ancestors.
But, okay, being dissatisfied, he established and came to Judea with a large body of people who worshiped the divinity. He declared and taught that Egyptians and Africans entertained erroneous sentiments in representing the divinity.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not
Greeks
word for
also
word,
were in error. Hold on. You just said that. Hold on. So what you did was you read that, but you didn't read below it. You just said Moses is not there. I'm showing you, and he also went to Jerusalem, and he also went and built a temple. It's right here.
Right,
it's the same story.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you could say that. But
okay, all right.
But I'm
so
saying though, both of them.
All right.
So
what's the next point you want to make, brother? I want to make sure you're talking.
So what I'm saying, like I was about to say in closing, I would have to revise that. He could very well have gotten that from Hectaeus, but the fact still remains both of them are saying that they were Egyptian people. So unless you're saying the ancient Egyptians, like that's my point. The ancient Egyptians were black, thereby the Israelites who were descendant from them were black too. So that's my whole point right there. And I'm using just that one source for that.
We're not going to agree. We're just going to agree to disagree. But what's the next point you're trying to bring up?
No, I'm just here. I'm just responding to what I'm hearing.
Okay, so what's the next point you want to bring up? That's the first thing you brought up. We're dealing with that. What's next?
Can we talk about John 8:33? We are descendants of Abraham and have never been slaves to anyone. Can the Hebrew brother who's the descendant of those people explain that?
Yes, my brother. When Yeshua was talking to them, he would speak, or they were responding as far as themselves. They have never been enslaved. Or some people say that they weren't even the real Jews, they were the Sumerians or the people that was inserted into the land. So it's several different ways you can look at it, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna peg you down to one point, and I don't study that one point past that. Like it doesn't make sense. Like
Right. And but the thing is, Jesus never said they were Samaritans, and he never disqualified them as being teachers of the law. He never said you guys don't know the law, you're not qualified to teach law. As a matter of fact, he said that they use the law to oppress people, which shows that Jesus recognized them as legitimate, and he recognized them as knowledgeable of the law of Moses.
okay, so let's start over. All right, so what's your point?
Why would Jesus listen? Why would Jesus say to people who aren't real?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Why would he say, is it not written? He always started stuff like that when he was talking to them. Is it not written? Is it not written? He seems like he was talking to a group of his peers as far as knowledge of the law in every interaction he had with them. And then he condemned them for being knowledgeable of the law, but not using the law to build up and help the people. So you can just dismiss their legitimacy, moving into a realm of obscurity, or somebody's lying. And I go with the latter. Somebody's lying.
So who's lying? I wanna.
Who knows? They might not even be the real Jews. If that's the case, then those people that Jesus was talking to.
So my brother, did I not present that to you?
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all just be mad for no reason, bro. Like
no one's mad. Listen, you guys are the ones who claim to be the authority on it. But when we ask you questions, it's dismissive. Oh, you only know baby food. I'm asking you, big dog, give me some meat, give me some steak, teach me something. What does that scripture mean?
Look.
If I ask the Mormon, they'll give me an answer. If I ask the Jehovah's Witness, they'll give me an answer. Let's say you don't know what it means.
Right. So when we again, bro. So I'm not. Let's obviously the baby food thing. You still think about it because this is something different. I'm trying to see where you're going. So when the Pharisees and Sadducees and you know, he also told them that their father is Satan. So when they responded to Yeshua and said, we have never been in bondage, what I said to you was, the first thing I said was, you can either take it as they have never been in bondage, like physically, if they're like, if they are the real descendants of Israel, and if they say they have never been in bondage, they're speaking of their generation or, you know, real close generations before them, like, or they can be not even real Jews. That's what I said, bro. So for you to go all the way around, like you said, baby food, bro. Like in the end, it's still baby food. Like that's why I asked you, what's your point? Because I presented both points that can be that's possible. And as you came in earlier, you said the Bible is true. So I'm asking you, what's your point? Like once I presented to you the
I never said the Bible was true, but thank you for continuing to try to put that in my mouth. I never said that. I simply asked you something based on the Bible. We can read a book that's totally fiction and then ask questions based on that book. That's just scholarship. You can't. Listen.
So when I asked you, what's your problem with the Bible? You specifically told me it's not the Bible, it's the Israelites who teach the Bible. That's what you said, bro.
Oh, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Oh man, I feel, bro. I'm gonna just fall because I can't have a conversation with a person who can't hold a position, bro.
No, I don't have a problem with the Bible in itself, but I have a problem with the people who attempt to police the Bible and tell everybody they don't know what they're talking about. But then when you ask them a question, they can't answer it. See, but it's, Garfield, we already knew that was coming. When somebody start pressing them, they want to, I'm gonna fall off. Instead of being a man and saying, bro, I don't know, I need to go study more.
I have a problem with the Bible.
What up, Duel? You. All right. Anybody else want to jump on, man? Anybody else want to jump on? The link is pinned. Let's go. Hebrew Israelites, come and prove who you are. Let's go. What I don't like is when the brothers show sources that say Israelites were in West Africa. Y'all say, who said it's false? Who said that, K-Wu? Who said the sources are false?
I have a question.
Go ahead, beloved.
What's going on, brother Garfield? How you feeling, brother? It's been a minute.
I'm feeling great tonight. I have the spirit over me tonight. What's
Yeah,
up,
can you
bro?
hear me?
Yes, sir. I could hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Hello, can you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
brother. I could hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I could hear you, brother. I could hear you loud and clear.
Is my connection bad? Hello?
Yeah, your connection is bad, but I could hear you.
Hello?
I could hear you, brother.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I could hear you loud and clear. You know what, bro? Come out and come back in.
Hey, official.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. Come out and come back
okay, it
in.
seemed like
Come
I'm
out.
lagging
Yeah. Come out and come back
a
in.
little bit.
Yo,
Yo, what
Does
up?
it seem like I'm
man,
lagging?
man, I don't know, man. I thought he was gonna really bring something that we could talk about, man. All he did was gish gallop and tried to do the lookership on us, man. I thought Gideon had something more than that, though, man. I'm disappointed with him. Because it's all based on theatrics, brother. When somebody get these dudes do exactly what they said, what the Bible said don't do. Remember, Jesus told them when you pray and all that, don't go out in the public space. You know, certain dudes who are fake go out in the public spaces seeking to gain an audience. That's what they're doing.
Hey,
Going out in the corner.
brother Unk says you die at your source, man, and that's what happened with a lot of Hebrew Israelites. This is why I asked him. I said to Chris, "We're doing this wrong. You got to let him show his source." Once I saw the source, I knew where the story came from, which was Hectaeus of Abdera. I already knew that already, but I wanted to carry on because I know where he was going. These guys don't study, and they continue to do all this craziness and try to trick people and act like they got this secret knowledge when they doesn't.
Man, that was what you call judo backflips to try to paint the picture. You know, he killed himself a couple of times, and that's what was killing me. Like when you asked him, is he saying that the Jews are black? Like he would Egyptians. He would have to be saying that just from if that's how he was reading what he was reading. What are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he
Okay.
don't even like this is the
But
problem. He don't fully read things. Like this shit is sad.
yeah, can you hear me better now?
I could hear you, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I apologize about that. I don't know why it was lagging. But yeah, it seemed like we focus so much on the geography and the origin of everything. But when it comes to the reality and what we're going through right now, we're still dealing with slavery as we speak. So where does the Bible come in and changing that? And what is the deal with nobody focusing on the freedom that we need right now? Like, what's the deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know,
we got to sit back and wait for Yahweh to bring that to us.
okay, so all right, so let me get this straight, brother. We have to sit back, allow our people to
Hey,
go through
I'm
slavery.
being sarcastic, bro.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, brother, I was
I don't
going
believe
in.
that shit. I am anti-Bible. If you don't see my name, I'm no, I am not with the Bible. I am
Right.
anti-Bible.
Facts. I respect that. I love having conversations with believers about the information because at the end of the day, the brother that just left, he probably waiting on Yahshua to come, and that's cool. That's whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you cool with your kids being slaves, and you cool with working a 9 to 5, have to punch in for that man, and slave 18 hours of your life, I mean, by all means, brother, do that. But that's what the Bible teaches you to do, because you got to be a slave. Like, that's what it's all about. I think brothers like Garfield, Sarnetta, all of the people that basically is trying to free your mind, period. Like, get you out of that whole thought process, because learning about your ancestors and your origin is one thing, but coming to a conclusion that all of these people are gone, and the Bible ain't explaining that. It ain't saying where these people went. Where did Sumerians go? Where the Egyptians at? Where they at?
They all died off. You see, that's
They
what happened.
gone.
And see, that's what people don't want to accept certain things, bro. They want to hold on to things because you heard what he said. There was something really, really powerful, or really not powerful, but it stood out to me when he was speaking. And it was like, at the end, we are going to be the only tribe that survive.
Right.
Everybody else is going to be wiped out except for the Israelites. So you better hurry up and convert and become an Israelite or be wiped out.
Right.
You hear this?
Yeah, I hear it.
Everything they say fits with other groups of people more than it fits with them. And it's totally ignorant of history, right? And so basically what you got is a bunch of dudes who don't really have a good knowledge of history, like in its reality, trying to base everything off the Bible and say, oh, that's us, that's us, that's us. When they start doing that, like I heard a dude say that Rome fell in 195 AD. And I was like, Rome fell in like 395 AD. But he just doesn't know the history because they don't need to worry about it. They can't be bothered with the facts, right? But the Bible is a book it's a proactive book. It has a message for anybody. Basically, you can get anything you want out of the Bible. In the Bible, you can find a reason to kill somebody. You can find a reason to not kill somebody. You can find a reason to work hard. You can find a reason to be lazy. You know what I'm saying? A handful of rest is better than 2 handfuls of work, right? And it's written like that on purpose for people to take what they can get out of it. And what does it say? The Bible is like, the law is like a mirror, right? When you look at it,
I know one thing you can't
So
find in
look,
there.
you just said some things, and
Samuel,
I,
you got an echo, man. You
Yeah,
got an echo.
I know one thing you can't find in there, a way out of it. You can't find a
Hey,
way out of it.
let me tell y'all a secret, right? What kills black Hebrew Israelites? This is what kills them, our Israelite claimants. Where were you at 200 AD? Okay, no answer. Where were you at 300 AD? Because they teach about 70 AD and going into West Africa. Never happened. We know what happened because the people who were historians documented it. So where did they get this from? Babylon to Timbuktu. Today the guy brought out on Sarnetta, he brought out that Hebrewisms in West Africa. And the guy who wrote it on page 63 said that the Jews in West Africa were not Negroes. I tried to call in on Sarnetta, but they didn't want me to talk.
Right.
He said they were not Negroes. So you saying that they black and running around, why would the author of the book that you're quoting say that the Jews were not Negroes? Because they weren't. Duh. And those people, whether they were Negroes or not, did not get on a slave ship. They helped to finance the slave trade. So this is how you kill those guys.
No, I got a good way to kill them, because I love to go. See, a lot of people like to go to the past, and I love to go into the future. What does salvation look like to you? Like, what is it? What is it gonna be? So you have a lot of people in this time that have financial freedom, and that's the closest freedom to salvation that anybody can ever have. But they find themselves always doing something. They have to stay active. What does freedom look like? Can you imagine right now, Garfield, if I gave you $200 million, can you imagine waking up the next day doing absolutely nothing because financial freedom now exists? Like, people are so worried about somebody coming back and saving them. When he saved you, what the hell are you gonna do?
Your signal. You know what happened, bro? Your system don't work good with StreamYard. That's what it is.
Oh, it don't work with streaming. Oh, okay. So did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you.
There's definitely
Yeah.
no end game with the
Like,
Hebrew Israelite stuff. They
You know
don't
what?
have
I
an
need
end
to
game.
rename this show Strabo and what he said, Strabo and Tacitus. I need to rename this show.
Hey, brother Garfield, these guys, their whole goal is to disrupt. They're not here to do anything. It's like what Jesus said. You'll traverse earth and sea to make one proselyte, but like all you're doing is making them twice as much of a candidate for Gehenna as yourself. That their whole aim is just to convert you, not to take you anywhere, not to show you anything, not to benefit you in any way, just to convert you. That's it. That's why in their ranks, anybody can get up and call himself a teacher. As long as you could try to conflate two things that have nothing in common, then you can be a teacher. Literally. That we were reading the scripture. I forgot exactly what the scripture was, but it said her gates. It was talking about the people mourning, and it was saying that they've been on the ground and they're black, right? We read the scripture, and the dude was like, "Oh, that means they was black. See, they was black. See," and it was like, you don't even care to like go do research and learn the meaning. All they're doing is looking for the word black or dark in the Bible so they can insert themselves into it. Everything has to have an end game. Faith is one thing, but works is something different, right? As far as like in the real world, you got people, these real Jews who I consider, whether they're fake or real, they get the title for me because they're going and doing big things based on their beliefs. Cedar Sinai Hospital in LA. These guys, St. Jude, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's like, I mean, that's not theirs. St. Jude is not theirs. But I'm just saying, for example, these people, Christians who believe, Jews who believe, they're building hospitals. They're doing all this in the name of their faith. What are Hebrew Israelites building? Not a damn thing. And that's the point, to stand on the corner, just like the Pharisees and Sadducees of old, and beat people down with the law. They're breaking the law and then weaponizing it against everybody else. It's just like a self-esteem killing situation. Let's beat black people down even more. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just a victimhood cult, in my opinion.
Yep, you are correct. You are correct.
I'm gonna head out though. Thank you for having me.
No problem, brother. Anytime. All right. All right. Oh man, I want to change the topic, but I have to. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do it on the YouTube. All right. Peace and love to family. Hey, if you want to jump on, man, jump on. It's talking about are the Sephardic Jews who were participating. It went quiet. The Jews, Brother Garfield is talking about are the Sephardic Jews who were participating in the Dutch West India Company. Yeah, all this talking. Told me some records that show that the slaves were documented that within the tribal names y'all use. Y'all can't. Okay, woo, you just all talk. You'll get over it, man. You'll get over it. You will get over it, family. You'll get over it. Let me edit the video. I think with a lot of guys that converse, I think we got to do better, and I think we got to research better. But I mean, people don't like to admit when they're wrong. They don't like that. So you know, hey, did Strabo and Tacitus say the Jews were? I need a picture of Strabo, man. Strabo. I need a white picture of Strabo to put as the avatar. I need a picture of Strabo. I need a picture. Ain't nobody got no picture of Strabo, man. I need a picture of Strabo. I need a picture of Strabo. Nobody has a picture of Strabo? Oh, man. Let me see if I find a picture of Strabo so I could put it on my avatar. Strabo. Let me see if I got an image of Strabo. Images. Let's see what they have. I got some from Wikipedia saying Strabo. Let me see if I could get this one right here. Oh, that's the one on Wiki. Let me get that picture. Oh man, Strabo, they do you wrong, bro. They say Strabo. They're like, Golfy, you don't know Strabo? Oh man. Let me get a picture of Tacitus now, and I'm gonna combine it and put it on. You know, y'all know I ain't got no form of, I don't know nothing about that stuff. Let me see if I find a picture of Tacitus. All right, so here we go, Tacitus. Whoa. See if I find another picture. That was like, whoa, Cornelius Tacitus. Ah, boy. Let me see. There's no color picture. I need a color picture of Tacitus, y'all. All right, it don't matter. I'll work with this. Them side by side. So got Strabo. You got Tacitus. We gonna drop this knowledge, man. That's what we doing. Mm-hmm. Yo, I swear, man, these guys from the Hebrew War Machine, yo, they make me laugh, yo. I swear they make me laugh. I don't know what is the obsession of trying to prove that you're an Israelite. I don't get it. I'll never get it. But hey, I'm here, bring the sources, and I'm here. Who else want to jump on, man? Let's go. Who else want to get beat up or want to drop some information? I'm right here. I'm right here, family. Not going nowhere. Yep. I'm gonna keep this show up. I thought the information was pretty good on this show. I mean, I don't think, or at least read your own sources thoroughly, right? Oh man, I forgot all about this. Hey, you downstairs? All right, I'm coming down right now. All right, I'm coming down right now. All right, bye. All right. All right, guys, I gotta go. Uber is here. Peace and love to y'all, man, and thank you guys for listening, man. As always, this is your true brother, and look out for Raw Bond and True Historian. They come in their hit back. What African tribes does the record say the slaves come from? Well, to answer you, the tribes brought their culture with them. So when they brought their culture with them and their language, you were able to know where they actually come from. So you had the Asante, you know where the Asante came from. You had the Igbo, you know where the Igbo came from. Okay? You had the people from Benin, from Wida. They brought their culture with them. Okay? The Yoruba people, they brought their culture with them. That's why they have writings about Yoruba in the Atlantic world, or Igbo in the Atlantic world, or the Akan in the Atlantic world. All right? Peace and love. This is your brother Garfield, man. Over and out.